You know what sucks? Is the amount of effort it takes to try to learn a new skill. I spent like 30 minutes trying to learn how to play the piano. I got absolutely nowhere. So after coming to the realization that I have no natural talent nor desire to waste my time taking classes or something dumb like that, I came up with a device that might be able to teach me how to play the piano with the least amount of effort as is humanly possible. So the idea is, rather than having to consciously know which notes to play, it'd be a lot easier if the keys just drew your fingers to them. So to make that happen, I'm going to build a piano with electromagnets for keys that'll be able to attract metal fingertips. That way, hopefully, I'll be able to learn the muscle memory of songs without actually knowing what I'm doing. Then I can transfer what I learned from the electromagnet piano to the real piano. This is an Arduino. It's basically the brain of the whole thing. It'll be in charge of telling the electromagnets when to turn on and off. You can power components with just the Arduino, but I'm planning on using 32 electromagnets with a magnetic force of 25 pounds each. So I'm going to have to bring in an external power supply. The terminals connected to the power supply are only there so I have more surface area to connect all the necessary components. In order to create a circuit, I'll connect one end of the electromagnet to the negative terminal. Now if I were to connect the other end to the positive terminal, the electromagnet would stay on until I unplugged it. So in order to control when current flows, I'm going to use a relay. A relay is just a switch that opens or closes a circuit when it's told. To use the relay, I just have to plug the positive end of the electromagnet into it and connect a wire from the positive terminal to the relay. So when I connect the Arduino to the first relay channel, I can turn the electromagnet on and off once I program it. Now I just have to do that 31 more times. Alright, so this is just going to be a quick rundown of some of the stuff I added. I put light diodes on the end of every electromagnet, so that way I know whenever they're turned on, and I programmed in a startup function that tests them all out. So that's it working. I also put in a potentiometer, so that way I can speed up or slow down however fast the songs play, and I installed an IR sensor so I can control it with this remote. That's pretty much it for the board. Now, in order to interact with it, I had to make these metal fingertip attachment things. Yeah, they're a lot more jank than I would have liked, but this is what I got. It's just a latex finger cover with a metal end cap super glued on. So the way it'll work is you put it on, and whenever an electromagnet's turned on, it'll pull your finger towards it. So that way, hopefully, I'll be able to learn the muscle memory of songs without actually knowing what I'm doing. That's pretty much how everything works. The only other thing of note are the two Wii power adapters I'm using to power it. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, I can finally get to programming in some songs. I'm thinking about starting out with three. The first one is a banger by Beethoven called Fur-Elise, and the second one is Ola Turka. Now they're both pretty recognizable, which is really all that matters, but they're nothing compared to the absolute certified hood classic that is Dire Dire Docks from Mario 64. Here we go! To program the Arduino, I just have to open up the development environment and create a new project. Now, because I don't want anyone to see my shoddy code, I'll name the file something so bland and uninspired no one would ever bother opening it. How about Happy Feet 2?
Bro, dude! Is that Happy Feet 2?
No.
Bro, how'd you get that? Is that really Happy Feet 2?
No.
Come on!
Alright. Now I just gotta do a little bit of typing. Alright, now I guess all that's left to do is to actually practice with the thing. Alright, so after practicing with the electromagnet piano for about 30 minutes and practicing with the real piano for about 20, I learned most of Fur-Elise with my right hand. So far, this is what I got. Okay, so the astute amongst you might realize that I'm only playing with one hand, and Fear Elise takes two. Now, unfortunately, I was only able to make the electromagnet piano with 32 keys because I'm a poor college student, but I came up with a solution that might be able to teach me how to play with both hands. Alright, so I put these buttons here because these are the keys that you press before you start playing with your left hand. So the way it'll work now is I'll play what I learned with my right hand, and once I get to a point that requires my left hand, I'll press the key hard enough to trigger the button. So this is what it'll look like. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how far I've come with Fear Elise, so I think I'm going to start working on Alla Turca. So you're probably wondering, did this thing actually work? The answer is I think so. When I was using the electromagnetic piano, I felt like it was really helping my finger dexterity, and I felt like I was able to memorize the sequence of keys much faster than I normally could. Now, it still took some work to transfer that over to the real piano because the key spacing was different, and I found it difficult to stay on tempo while playing with both hands. It's hard to gauge how much the electromagnetic piano helped because I don't have a control to test against. I do, however, have Kura, which is just as good. So it took me about 5 hours to learn the main chorus of Fear Elise, but according to the top comment, it should take a beginner a couple weeks if they practice 1 hour a day, of which 20 minutes is spent learning Fear Elise. So let's just call the average time 10 hours, which would mean the electromagnetic piano did speed up my learning process. When I was using it, it felt similar to how I assume being able to read sheet music on sight feels like. I didn't have to intently focus on the relative location of the keys because the lights directed me and the magnets pulled my fingers towards them. So instead, I could focus on memorizing the pattern of the song and the mechanics of how to play it, which I think helped me learn faster. Now, the ultimate goal of this project was to learn how to play the piano with the least amount of effort possible. So after spending $160 on materials and 20 hours designing, building, and programming the thing, I was able to save myself about 10 hours of piano practice. Anyway, thanks for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you liked it, hit like. If you didn't, let me know by subscribing. But yeah, thanks for watching.